Are you wondering if you can vacuum seal liquids in jars or bottles? Well, today I'm going to show you exactly how you can do that. It's Jody with All About the Harvest, where I teach you how to grow, use, and preserve your harvest. And today's video is coming to you as a result of a question that two of my viewers had asked. Better Brain Healing and Brett Moore wanted to know how to vacuum seal olive oil and wine. So I am doing this video specifically because of their request, but I'm also thinking that this is going to help a few other viewers as well. So there's a couple ways that you can vacuum seal liquids in jars. And the video that both Brett and Better Brain Healing were watching when they posted the question was my video on how to vacuum seal food in jars using the foodsaver jar attachments. And I will link that video up above, and then I'll also put it in the description below this video so you can watch that if you haven't as well. What I did in that video is I used my foodsaver to seal food in jars, and basically what I was doing in that video is I was showing you how to put dried foods into mason jars, and then you would go ahead and vacuum seal it using the foodsaver jar attachments. Now, this is a really great way to be able to put food in jars and vacuum seal it to make them last longer. You can, however, use this with fresh foods as well. After doing that video, I decided to vacuum seal my mason jar salads in the jars to see if they would last longer, and I felt that they did. And then because of this question that was posed to me, I also tested it with the liquids. So I will say that the foodsaver does specifically have an attachment for bottles, and that is called the foodsaver bottle stoppers, and I will link them in the description below. However, if you already have the foodsaver and you have the jar attachments, you can vacuum seal liquid in jars. In fact, I did this. This is some elderberry juice mix that I made, and I did go ahead, following that same video that I have linked below, I did go ahead and use my foodsaver jar lid to vacuum seal this. So as you can see, I'm lifting this up by that lid. So that liquid is vacuum sealed in there. Now, I generally would not do that, but I was just doing it to test this. There was no problem with it at all. So I just wanted to point that out, that yes, you can use that, and I will link these products in the description below so you just have easy access to that. Now, I am going to show you another way to do it. So again, you could get those bottle stoppers, which are specific for like an olive oil or a wine. And again, I have that linked below, but I'm going to show you the way I do it. And this is nice when you don't have power. Okay, so first let's talk about the olive oil. So with olive oil, your jars generally have a plastic topper on here. So if you are going to want to use the vacuum sealer with this, you're going to need to pry that off to be able to vacuum seal this. So I just wanted to make sure that you recognize that. I'm going to set this aside because today I'm just going to show you how to vacuum seal the wine, and basically the same process would be done with the olive oil. Okay, so I have two different handheld vacuum sealers for wine. I had purchased one for myself, and then I had received another as a gift. They both work well, and they have different features, so I'm going to explain them to you. So the first one here is the VacuVin wine sealer, and I'm going to put the link in the description below for this. Now, the other one that I have is the Houdini. I couldn't find the specific one, but I did find one that looks exactly like this and this, and it's a different name brand. It's called Rabbit. I'm going to put that in the link below as well. Both of these are hand pumps, and you're going to put this on top of your wine, and then you're going to put this on top and you're going to pump it up and down, so it's manual. So the nice thing about this is you don't need power to do this, and they're pretty small as far as storage goes. So there's two different toppers, and I will show you what they look like closer. So the first one is the VacuVin. Now this one is more of a tapered look. And then the other one is more of a straight bottle type. So you can see the two different ones. And I will show you how to use both of these. So first we're going to use a VacuVin. We're going to go ahead and put that in there. And then you just put your vacuum sealer on top. And then I'm basically holding this wine bottle in my hand. And then I just start to pump. So, and you're pulling it up. And then as it's getting to the point that it's getting to seal, it'll make a click and you'll hear that. So there it is. So if I keep doing it, it's harder. But once you hear that click, it's vacuum sealed. So obviously I just opened this bottle of wine for this demonstration. I took out a glass. And so if there was more liquid gone, it would take longer for that click to happen. Now, when you're ready to use this, you're just going to pull this, there's a little knob in the center. You're going to pull it towards yourself or away from yourself. And here's what it sounds like. So you can hear it's releasing that air, and then now you can take it off and go ahead and pour yourself a glass of wine. So that is the VacuVin. And so this one, you're just putting it in there. Very similar, but it's square instead of round, and it does have another one of those little buttons on the top. So again, I'm holding this with my hand, so I'm kind of cupping it. Because if you do this, it's not gonna work. You need to cup the bottle as well as the holder. So I'm just putting my hand around it and then pull up. Now this one doesn't click, but you can feel the resistance is really hard. I will do this with this one. So now on that fifth one, it's getting pretty hard to pull up. So it's like, it's definitely vacuum sealed. And then now when you're done, you want to drink it, you just move that. So that's it. So that is how you can vacuum seal both your wine and olive oil in jars. So there's multiple ways I showed you. One is with these manual vacuum sealers, and then another way is with the jar savers. Now I use that on a liquid, on my elderberry juice, but you could, if you really wanted to, you could pour your wine in a jar that fits those type of lids, or you could pour your olive oil in there if you wanted to. So that's another way. If you already have that and you're not looking to spend any additional money, then that's a great way to do it. And the last way to do it is by getting the actual foodsaver bottle stoppers. And that comes in a set of 3. Again, I'll link that below. So that's how you can vacuum seal liquids in jars or bottles. Again, this is Jody with All About the Harvest, where I teach you how to grow, use, and preserve your harvest. And until next week, happy vacuum sealing.